Hey everyone, and welcome back to my Completionist playthrough of the Baldur's Gate Saga with SCS. And now, after all of these high-level mage encounters, I think we deserve a little bit of a break. So we're going to follow the example of Valigar, who decided to go and chill in his cabin in the Umar Hills, and we're going to go and chill in our planar sphere for a while. We're going to advance the time a bit. We're going to rest 2 or 3 times. We're going to do some quests in the planar sphere. We're going to conclude our planar traveling business with the Solamnic Knights, and then we're going to be ready for our next adventure. First, let's level up Senashira and Kirinai. Senashira is going to be level 13. She's going to get some more memorization slots. I think now it would be justified to give her some magic missiles, but... oh yeah, since we're going to rest, first I'm going to memorize some identification spells so that we can identify everything we have. On level 2 I'm going to give her Resist Fear, and just so we can have another source of that type of effect, not just Animen. On level 3 I don't really have any particular plan for her right now. Let's just give her some Slow for now. At level 5 I am going to memorize one Animate Dead just in case. I know that I'm not going to be able to summon the best version of the Skeleton Warrior with her for now, but we're going to talk about this spell more in a second. And here at level 6, I think where we're going to have a nice opportunity to showcase the power of Mislead. Just this once, we're going to have some fun with it. Alright, and Kirinai is going to be level 15. Not a very impressive level up, but we can pump up her stealth skills even further. And now we're going to have to rearrange some other spells. So on Edwin, I think I'm going to get one Pierce Magic. It should come in handy for a certain fellow that we're going to encounter. And on level 4 I'm going to memorize 2 copies of Polymorph Self on him. And now let's take a look at Animen. Alright, he is close to level 15, so in preparation for that level 15 I am going to memorize 2 more Animate Dead spells. Alright, so let's now talk about this spell. This is generally a very good summoning spell, because all of these skeleton warriors have a vast array of different immunities to different debilitating, disabling effects, as undead generally do, and it also lasts for a long while. Basically, you know, this is more than enough for you to be finished in like any given area that you summon them in. And of course now, depending on the version of the skeleton warrior, their stats are going to differ. But the 2 versions that we're interested in are the best one from level 15 and the second best. So the best one is so notable because these skeleton warriors will have 90% magic resistance. They also have an immunity to non-magical weapons, and of course they have the best stats out of all of them. So they have the best hit points, the best armor class, the best Thaco. Now compared to this one, the second best, the level 15 has 20 more hit points, also has this 2-handed sword, just, you know, deals more damage. It's just a better all-around summon. But even the second best version is going to do well for us in a pinch, because this one has still 65% magic resistance, so not that much, but it's still respectable, and still has decent stats. So basically, as I've mentioned in the previous episode, our next big adventure is going to be the Unseeing Eye cult. And that means encountering a lot more beholders. But now we have some more tricks at our disposal that we're going to be able to use in our encounters with those beholders. So skeleton warriors are going to be one of them. And because of their vast amount of different immunities and their high magic resistance, they're going to provide us they're going to prove a sturdy, like solid summon that we're going to be able to use against the beholders. They're going to be very resistant to their tricks. And also I've memorized these Polymorph Self spells on Edwin so that he can shift into a mustard jelly form, which has 100% magic resistance. And we're going to be able to use that against the beholders as well. Alright, so I think now we're ready to rest once and identify some stuff. So here we have Protector of the Second, just a leather armor +2 that we know from Baldur's Gate 1. Also, this is an item that we've seen in Baldur's Gate 1, the Battle Axe of Molitar, and a different type of Battle Axe +2. Gretek had that in Baldur's Gate 1. Alright, here we have Jatha the Drinker, which was the sword that the warden in the planar prison had. It has a slight heal on hit, but the most important thing is the immunity to charm and domination spells, and I think it's decent enough to warrant holding on to it, although we're going to be relying on chaotic commands most of the time for that type of protection. Alright, next up we have the Melodic Chain, which is a bard-only armor. It's a decent chest piece for Herdelis, but by the time Kiranai has used any item, she's going to have far better alternatives, so it's not worth holding on to it. We're going to sell it. Right here, a staff similar to our own Staff of Fire. This one is the Staff of Air, and it can slay air elementals unless they make a save. They can summon, or it can summon some lesser air elementals, and it also has this Sleep Cloud spell, which is kind of like a Stinking Cloud, and we can give this one to Edwin already. Alright, next one we have the Ripper from the Planar Sphere. It's a composite longbow with +2 damage, so yay, big one. And it's still a decent bow to give to Minsk or Valigar, but since we've already had them in our party and we're not going to re-recruit them, we're just going to sell that bow. And now we have another Wand of the Heavens, and I think I'm going to hold on to it on Animen, so that maybe in some situations both him and Jaheira can cast that Flame Strike in the same round. Next up, also from the Planar Sphere, we have the Shield of the Falling Stars. Just a very unimpressive shield at this point, especially with just a bonus to missile attacks. If we want to be protected against missile attacks, the Reflection Shield is a much better alternative that we could buy from Rybald. Anyway, another Wand of Lightning. Okay, we will sell this one. Okay, we still have this and this on Animen. And I'm already going to just memorize my standard stuff. I think I'm still going to continue with the theme of no damaging spells on Senashira. Okay, and we can rest once more. Right, and here comes Tios again. So he's going to have our first task for the Kald Wizards. And yeah, the Planar Sphere is very wizardly. Like all of those strongholds, like I mentioned, are very unique. But yeah, what is a mage without an apprentice, right? And here we're going to have a whole group of them. A whole class, I guess, studying to become Kald Wizards. And tutoring them, or like guiding their teaching process, is going to be our task that we're supposed to do for the Kald Wizards. So of course, as always, feel free to pause and read a little bit more in detail about them. But Moral is going to be their leader. He's going to basically talk on behalf of the whole group. We also have Lars, which is a similar name to Larze, I guess, spelled with an E at the end, which was the ogre that was sent to kill us in Baldur's Gate 1. And also similar to Larzuk, I guess, from Diablo 2. And Nara. And yeah, apparently instructing them and overseeing their studies is going to be our task. And we can express our doubts at, the point of this whole exercise is, and we can ask about Imoen, and I'm going to ask about her. The name brings uncomfortable shifts from those in leadership. So basically at the very end of the Mage Stronghold questline, he is going to be able to tell us a little bit, a tiny bit, about a little piece of information he's going to be able to share with us about Imoen. But anyway, now that's that. Go to Heltios. And yeah, our first lesson. Basically, there's going to be 3 lessons that we're going to kind of guide them through, and they are all going to be about obtaining or like creating some items. One of them is going to be a scroll, and 2 others are going to be magically enchanted items. And unfortunately, the process of making these different items apparently is pretty dangerous. So depending on the item we choose, there's going to be either they are going to just survive, making the easiest thing, or the more dangerous, the more difficult things to create sometimes will be able to result in their deaths. So I am going to go with the good way, and I'm going to make them all survive. And for that, at the end of the whole quest line, we're going to be able to receive a chunk of experience. If any one of them dies, you don't get that kind of experience, but of course you have a chance of getting some better items. Because when it comes to some items, they have either a chance that some will die, and some deaths are going to be guaranteed when it comes to certain items. But the annoying thing about this stronghold, I guess, is that some of these more difficult items to create, sometimes they can still fail. Like, some of them will die, and they are not going to be successful in the process of creation of that item. So there, you know, if you really want to like get your hands on some of these items, there would have to be some saving and reloading involved in that. But anyway, here we have a choice between the Dagger of Senashira, which I'm going to go for. It's just a very simple dagger, but it's going to guarantee that they all survive this this lesson, I guess. Then we have the Ring of Protection, which guarantees that Lars will die, and it's just a Ring of Protection +1, nothing special. And then we also have this Wand of the Apprentice, which randomly casts either Fireball, Lightning Bolt, or Cone of Cold, and this carries a chance that some of them will die. So the Dagger of Senashira is going to be the way to go here. And yeah, now that's it, and in 4 days we're going to be able to check up on them and receive our item. And here it seems like that Ribald's mage has not arrived yet, so I'm just going to buff up with stone skins before we rest, and we're going to rest one more time to finish that thing. Right, and here she arrives. I should have also identified these other two items that I've had with my glasses before resting, but anyway. Here's Kalina's pack, and she is going to be able to transport these Solamnic Knights to their home plane. But here Reyna says, wait, one last second. Senashira, we know this was not an inexpensive gift that you give to us. This is why we have something for you in return. Take this. It is a small token of our gratitude. Well met and safe travels. And with that, we are gone. And that's basically the difference between sending them to become members in the Order of the Radiant Heart and choosing this option to send them back home, is this item. Because the 45,000 experience that we got, we would be able to get that experience also if they would join the Radiant Heart. But here we also get this item, and this belt that we know from Baldur's Gate 1 as well, giving us an armor class bonus versus slashing attacks. So you can kind of look at it as a transaction where you purchase that belt for 9,000 gold. Yeah, not the best of deals, but still. Yeah, so here are the +1 Thaco gauntlets that Animan had, and let's just hold off on this Cloak of Protection for now.
Yes.
And let's just go. So yeah, our next adventure. Well, before we investigate the Unseeing Eye cult, we're going to make a short stop at the Joaquin's Promenade to make some small purchases and also get rid of all of these items that we've been collecting in the previous episodes.
Without hesitation.
Going to make some space in our inventories.
This will not take long. If it must be done.
Right, first let's just sell some stuff to Ribald. Can sell that. On Jaheira we had that melodic chain, the Ripper, the shield, and that's going to be it. Here I'm going to sell this Wand of Fear, this robe, and this Ring of Danger Sense. We're not going to need that. I guess we can get rid of that dagger. And we can get rid of the Stiletto of the Marches. Now Kirinai has a better main hand weapon. Alright, and also in our bag of holding we've had a ton of different like simple items. I think this sling and the scimitar +1 are the one that we've stole at the beginning of the game, so I'm going to not select them here just yet. Yeah, I guess I guess we've sold some long swords to Ribald before, but that's not a big deal. Alright, yeah, this scimitar is stolen and this sling is also stolen, so we can just get rid of them. Get rid of the sling, and this scimitar is going to wait in Jaheira's inventory, I guess. Alright, and also we need to get our nymph cloak for the maximum discounts, and we're just going to make some small purchases.
Greetings, good customer. A pearl
Here,
to you.
I am going to get that Shield of Baldur, but I'm not sure if we're even going to use it. Just in case I'm going to have it for now or for some future adventures. But we're probably not going to even use this right now, or just yet. And I'm also going to get this Mercy Killer ring, I think, just to improve Kiranai's stealthing abilities and improve her set trap, so those traps can become reliable that much faster. Okay, and that's going to be it.
Speak.
Right. And now we can go to the temple district and into the sewers
Certainly.
to check out what this Unseeing Eye cult is all about. So just as a reminder, way back in the temple district we've seen this guy Gaul that was saying that all of the gods that these people worship in this district are false gods. And there is a true god that have arrived in recent times, the Unseeing Eye, that apparently grants true insight if one gets rid of their eyes, their eyesight, to I guess not be susceptible to all of the falsehoods of the world.
Yes.
And here we can talk with one of their prophets, I guess. Yeah, apparently the Unseeing Eye has shown them the true path. And yeah, getting rid of one's eyes is apparently necessary. There's going to be kind of like an initiation ritual that every one of the faithful, I guess, has to go through. We're going to learn a little bit more about that later. Alright.
What is it?
And now we can go into the sewers and recruit
Certainly.
our new party member.
Speak without doubt.
It seems like this zombie actually spawned on top of him.
Halt and go no further, layman. There be a grave evil here, the source of which I have yet to find.
So here we have Keldorn, a paladin from the Order of the Radiant Heart that we were supposed to meet up with here and perhaps investigate the whole Unseeing Eye cult together. And yeah, he's going to offer his services to us and we're going to accept him into our party. He's also not going to have any complaints about confronting the cult wizards. I know little of the wizards except that they meddle in the affairs of others far too often. Aid me first in this case, in this cause, my friend, and I will then strive to aid you in yours. Yeah, so now we have Keldorn, a very cool character. I like his personality and I like his gameplay mechanics, let's just say. So let's take a look. We can get rid of his script and we can level him up because of the TOB style NPCs that we have. So he's going to get 2 levels, some nice boosts, and he has specialization in longsword, two-handed sword, and crossbow, and this one is a very easy choice here. A point in the two-handed weapon style, which is his the two-handed swords are going to be his main weapon, and with that he's going to be able to crit with them more often. Alright, so now let's take a look at him. He, first of all, is an Inquisitor, which is a paladin kit that loses quite a few things compared to a normal paladin. They cannot turn undead, they cannot use the Lay on Hands ability, and they cannot cast any priest spells. However, the upsides are also tremendous, especially in the spell-heavy environment of Baldur's Gate 2. First of all, he's immune to Hold and Charm, which is nice, I guess, but of course the big deal is this. He has a couple of uses of Dispel Magic and True Sight that he can basically cast instantly. And True Sight, of course, is a nice level 6 divination spell that gets rid of all of the different illusions and invisibilities effects and all that. And the Dispel Magic is notable on an Inquisitor because, as it says here, it acts at twice the Inquisitor's character level. Now, SCS gives us the opportunity or the option to nerf that ability to reduce its power, and I do have it reduced to be 1.5 Inquisitor's level. There's also a chance to make it so that it would be cast at his level, but I like the 1.5 option the most, I think. It still preserves the uniqueness of that Dispel Magic, which is supposed to be powerful on an Inquisitor, but it doesn't go over the top. Like in the unmodded game, this is an immensely powerful ability because, you know, right now already he would be able to offer us a Dispel Magic at spell level 20. So that would already be great. And once he gets a couple of levels, like at level 15, he would already have a Dispel Magic of level 30, which would basically pretty much always work. But yeah, right now he's going to have a dispel magic of level 15, which is nice. Has some of that Inquisitor uniqueness, but without being too powerful. Now, when it comes to his stats, the first thing that a lot of these different characters need fixed is the strength, which is very easy to do in Baldur's Gate 2 with all of the equipment that increases that. But also kind of his weakness is his dexterity. He has a very nice constitution. He is finally a party member that can actually withstand 2 hits from a Mind Flayer, and he also has some unique gear. First of all, he has the Hallowed Redeemer, which is a 2-handed sword +2 with this 5 points of magic returned to anyone who attacks him, which is actually very nice, because I think it bypasses magic resistance and generally just delivers the damage to a vast majority of opponents in the game, so it's actually nice to take advantage of that in certain situations. And he also has a special armor, which is nice to have, I guess, because it's a full plate armor with +1 to his saving throws, and also gives him free action. So it's nice to hold on to for that free action when you need it, but we're not going to use it most of the time. We're just going to give him a normal full plate mail, and we're going to give him a Cloak of Protection +1. So he's going to also have, you know, the better saving throws, but without that free action that would prohibit him from getting hasted. So depending on the situation, we might of course equip his specific armor if we want him to have free action. I'm going to use the gloves on him. Of course, normally if you planned on keeping him in the party, you would use the gauntlets of dexterity to give him 18 dexterity and fix that weakness, and then use a belt of strength on him, I guess. Which is something that we could do right now, but it doesn't really matter how we do it. And yeah, Keldorn, a pretty cool fellow. And now we can venture even deeper into the sewers and check what's up. So first we have to go this way. There's a locked door that we're not going to be able to go through just yet. There's going to be a little ambush here. Come on. We want that ambush. There are some ether caps that are supposed to spawn. I guess we have to venture a little bit further there, but there's a trap, so I don't want to do that just now. Okay, here come some shadows. There are no shadow fiends among them. Shadows just drain strength. Shadow fiends also can hold, which for that kind of situation I would like to swap Senashira's offhand to Arbane's sword so that she is protected against hold. Alright, there we go, with the ether caps. And also some other shadow types, like wraiths and whatnot, can level drain. So we're going to have to pay attention to all of the different types of shadows that we're going to encounter here. Anyway, in the next room there's also going to be another ambush. Okay, we have some standard shadows again. And here I'm just going to send Senashira in. Once we go inside here, the doors are going to close, and a Cloud Kill is going to be cast on us, and we're just going to have to withstand some of its damage. And there's also going to be some vampiric horrors that level drain. That's why I'm sending in Senashira. That's going to be able to make short work of them. And you can also make this, or like use this wheel to open the doors then, but I'm actually going to have Kira and I over, because you can get some experience by just disarming the lock on these doors. Alright, so there it is, the trap. Okay, vampiric mists here. They can go invisible, and they can level drain. You have to wait for them to reveal themselves. Come on. Do your attack, and die. And yeah, now we can get a little bit of experience for disarming that lock, and we can use this to open the doors, and we're actually going to go through with Senashira, because here is the Unseeing Eye cult's hideout, I guess.
Hold! You tread on sacred ground. Only those who serve the Unseeing Eye may enter. I am Gaul, High Priest of the One God.
Alright, so of course our job was to kind of learn more about this cult, so we would like to infiltrate it and become members, perhaps. But of course that would require the ritual of initiation, and you can actually go with that ritual But unfortunately, that's one of these situations in game where you just instantly die. Apparently, you know, not all people that get their eyes removed actually survive the process, and apparently our protagonist wouldn't be able to to survive that. You're not supposed to lose your eyes, of course. But yeah, Gaul is going to be willing to make an exception for us, I guess, and not take our eyes, and still allow us to perform a task in order to become members of the Unseeing Eye here. And he's going to want us to retrieve a certain rod, a part of a very powerful artifact, apparently. Yeah, that we should find atop a holy altar. You must let your faith guide you. And he's going to give us a key to open that door near the entrance to this part of the sewers. Alright, so now we can just teleport over here.
Yes, it will be done.
Okay, there's sometimes an Otiag or a carrion crawler here. Let's just have Jaheira deal with it.
With vengeance. Certainly.
Alright. Now we can open this door.
Speak. Whatever you desire.
And there's a level drain trap here, and we're going to disarm.
Yes,
Actually, a little bit further away. Anyway,
it will be done.
Be wary, my friends. Someone has come before us. I can sense it.
so here apparently there's some more of these eyeless cultists. But the dude here actually reveals that he is a former worshipper of the Unseeing Eye. He is one no longer. Yeah, so he is Sasar, and he was once the old god's high priest. But apparently once he discovered the true depth of the Unseeing Eye's evil, he escaped with some others. But now they don't have the senses gifted to them by the Unseeing Eye, and they kind of just stumble in their efforts to stop his evil, apparently. So yeah, he's going to tell us more about that rod and the plans of the Beholder, because the Unseeing Eye is a type of Beholder, a powerful one, who basically just came here to set himself up as a divinity in order to obtain this powerful ancient artifact. It is an item of such destructive power that the gods themselves determined it should not be used again. It was split in two, and this half was secreted here. It is protected against intrusion by powerful magics and beasts that live in the caverns. Many of the Beholder's followers have perished trying to retrieve it. I know, my lady, that the Beholder has the other half of the rod. If he were to acquire this half, he would be capable of wreaking terrible destruction. So Sasar's plan is going to be for us to get that half of the rod, steal the Unseeing Eye's half, assemble the artifact, and use it against him. Yeah, we tried to get the second half of the rod ourselves to use its destructive power to defeat the Beholder. This is the only way to destroy the creature. It isn't the only way, but it's much easier if we use that rod on him. Oh yeah, apparently, yeah, the Beholder has failed to acquire the rod because the gods have cursed the item. This lets you determine the artifact's true worth or threat. Alright, so okay, Sasar, we're going to do what you suggest. Apparently there are some lower levels and that we're going to be able to explore. Some kind of ancient ruins. Here we can get some minor goodies from these chests and talk with these guys.
Good day to you.
They're going to be happy that we're helping them in their task.
Yes.
Right, Sasar also mentioned the sarcophagus, not to open it, because apparently some powerful evil he was able to sense in there. There's basically a lich in there, a very powerful one that I'm not going to do right now, because he would most probably have spell trap, and we don't have any more scrolls of the Ruby Ray of Reversal, and we of course don't have access to level 7 spells on our mages either. So it's a little bit too early to encounter that guy.
Without doubt. Speak
Alright, and here
and
there might
precise.
be some more, yeah, some more shadows and some wraiths. The wraiths actually drain levels, and the Shadow Fiend can hold us, so I'm going to switch to Arbane's sword.
Retreat or fall
And let's
before
just
me.
eliminate the wraiths,
I am my goal.
so that some other guys of ours can
Yes.
also engage these guys in combat.
Speak if you will. What would you like? With vengeance.
And this door is open from the other side. We can't open it right now yet.
What is it?
And yeah, here's the passage to some lower levels. And I think, looking at the time, we're going to start here in our next episode and just explore whatever lies in these underground passages. So for now, I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next episode.